Gentlemen, I do have a question for you before we get started with today's video. What makes you happy? Whether it be a job, hobby, girlfriend, etc., etc. It's something that has been on my mind a lot lately. You know, how do we as men find happiness? And I'll be honest with you guys, I've been going through a really tough time over the last couple of weeks. That's why I've been a little inconsistent with my posting, but it's overall been one hell of an experience, and I just feel like it's something that I need to share with you guys. I won't give you guys like detail of what exactly happened, but I'll give you what my inside is looking like throughout after experiencing this entire thing. So for today's video, if you're struggling with, you know, trying to find that overall happiness, or you're struggling with a little bit of depression, or you know someone who's struggling with these things, this video is for you. And I'm going to be giving you a few tips on my definition on how you can be happy coming up. Welcome to HB Fashion, where we give you tips and advice from its fashion, grooming, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Zach Fobbs. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that notifications bell so that you're notified when more great content is dropped just like this. Before I get into these tips that I have for you today, guys, I do want to thank you for those who have subscribed to the channel over the past week and a half. I have noticed that steady growth over that period of time, and I am absolutely grateful for it. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy. And if you know someone who is in need of these tips, or you yourself, you know, are in need of these tips, hit that notifications bell and tell your friends to subscribe to the channel. Help us build the HB community, guys. With that said, I do have 7 tips for you on how to be happy. Starting with number 1, and that's, as cliche as it may sound, be you. But not just you, be you and be unapologetic about it. What that means is that take some time to figure out what makes Brian Brian. What are your best attributes? What are your negative ones? And how can you fix your negative ones so that you can be a more dope person? And once you take that time, for yourself, you basically date yourself for a good period amount of time. Be unapologetically that. You don't want to be someone that you're not, someone that you constantly have to put a mask on for, and you just want to be you, especially in these times, in these days, because people, they have a instant perspective of you instantly when they see you, and they first have a conversation with you. So you want to make sure that whatever they're perceiving is actually genuinely coming from actually you. And I've had so many conversations and so many experiences with people who they actually turned out to be the quite opposite of what I thought they originally were. And I can just look into their lives and I can tell that they're actually miserable. They're living a lie. And if you ever started out with a lie and tried to build something on top of that, it gets harder and harder the more you do it. So guys, just be yourself, be you, and I promise you everything else is going to be so much easier for you. Number 2, do something selfish. Just every now and then, do something that is for you. I know there's a lot of times that where we as gentlemen, we're doing a lot of things for everyone. We got our, hand on one situation, hand on the other, foot on the other, and we're just trying to make everyone's lives around us easy as possible. And we're just trying, be a good person, be that helping hand. But every now and then, take a day where you go out and you go see the movie that you want to go see. You want to buy that shirt that you've always wanted to buy. Do something, whatever it is, do something that you enjoy and that is purely for you. This is all about having that self-appreciation for yourself and knowing that you are worth that love, even from yourself. So just take the time to tell yourself that you love you, and you'll find it how much comforting it is to know that you know your own self-worth. And this is something that I think a lot of guys struggle with, and I know I struggled with it for a while. And once I really started taking those selfish times, for myself, just to do the things that I wanted to do, I felt so much more confident in myself and my capabilities of doing all of my regular everyday stuff. So guys, just every now and then, don't make it like a really strong habit, but just do something for yourself. Number 3, do not be afraid to say no. you will find out how much power you have over certain situations in your life if you just simply say no to the things that you do not want to do, or to the things that you do not simply agree with. And the goal of this tip is to basically say, don't be a pushover. I've been a pushover for a good chunk of my life, and I no longer am that person. But just looking back, I realized that a lot of the things that I went through, I could have avoided if I just simply said no to the initial action or initial question that sparked the entire thing. And it's something that I want all of you to avoid, or at least start taking action to say no. If you feel like you don't have to do something and it wouldn't result in you losing a job or losing someone very, very important in your life, I don't think you're obligated to say yes in whatever fashion it is. If you're not comfortable with it, if you just don't simply want to do it, you have that right to say no. And if that person has any decency in them, if they see you standing your ground, they see you actually taking that sort of self-respect to say no to whatever it is they want you to do, or push you in a direction they want you to go in, they will simply drop it and leave it alone. Number 4, take yourself out of a toxic situation and or relationship. When we think of toxic relationships, I think a lot of us get it wrong. We think that it's, something that right off the bat you can see it as being something negative, which I don't think that's the case. It's a little bit deeper than that. When you're in a toxic relationship, for example, you don't notice right off the bat the things that are bad, they're actually present, and they're actually very detrimental to you, yourself, and your partner in the whole relationship. Of all the times that are bad, you have really good highs, but when things get bad, they get the polar opposite and they're completely bad, if that makes sense. And you don't notice it. It's like being hooked on a drug that you don't know that's killing you. And you need to notice the signs, guys. If you're overall just finding times when you're not happy with her, and you are constantly fighting, the fights that you have are bad, and they really don't have any resolve, or they relapse over time, it might be time to let that relationship go. And it might be, the same thing for your situation. If you found out that your job is something that you may not be wanting to do because the people that you work for are crooked, you notice the boss are cutting corners, they're ripping people off, and despite how good the pay is, despite how much good the benefits are, the hours, etc., I think it's maybe time for you to actually go. And it may be hard, it may be something that you might not want to realize that it's actually bad, but if you actually take the necessary time into consideration to actually fully examine the entire situation and or relationship, you'll find it to be something actually a blessing in disguise if you just rip the band-aid off and just take yourself out of that situation. Number 5, surround yourself with positive company. You ever heard that old-fashioned saying, bad company corrupts good character? That's an actual thing, guys. That's not something to take for granted. The people that you surround yourself with is a reflection on you. Overall, you're gonna start taking off some of the traits, some of the characteristics that the people that you're around, and they're going to be a defining factor of who you are in your everyday life. If you surround yourself with someone who is constantly negative, they have nothing nice to say about anything, everything from the weather to that certain person that they absolutely hate, then eventually you're going to start seeing the world in a negative light. You're going to start, being like that person, disliking a lot of things, having just about nothing nice to say. And if you guys don't believe me, examine your friends, don't put them on the spot necessarily, but just notice, who is actually, like that. And you'll be surprised to see who's actually like that. And you may need to determine if you want to keep them around or in your life at all. This may seem harsh, but it's actually the truth. If you're trying to be successful, if you're trying to be in that positive vibe consistently 24/7, this may be a necessary step that you need to take. I tend to surround myself with people who are not only positive, but they also tell me the truth. They're not necessarily, mean or demeaning with what they say to me, but they actually tell me the truth. They tell me when I'm slipping up, when they tell me that I need to fix some things in certain areas, when HP Fashion has fallen off course, which I actually appreciate a lot, because a true friend will not leave you in the dust, and they will actually uplift you and want to see you be successful. And those are the type of people I think everyone needs to be around and they need to strive to be. It's just, and I think it's something that's hard to realize, that when we're with someone who is been with us since day one, or we just really know them on a deep level, it's hard to us really re-examine who they are as a person and trying to determine if there's someone that we want to keep around us. But the goal is to be successful, and you really need a good team of friends behind you if you want to achieve whatever goal you're trying to achieve. Number 6, don't be afraid to take risks. This is something that is huge in my life, especially over the last few weeks. Just to give you an overview, but basically what's been happening. I lost the job that I was previously working at for a little while, and it sucked. It was a tough time, and I basically was let go from this job without having anything else laid out for me. It was a very scary time, but it felt like I had to leave that situation. I examined the situation. Me and let's say the store owner of that facility, me and him weren't really seeing eye to eye to a lot of things, and after examining a lot of the things on a moral standing, it was just my time to leave, and he picked up on that vibe and eventually just let me go. And so there I was, just struggling, trying to figure out how I'm gonna make ends meet. But at the end of it all, I felt like I was happy. I brought myself out of that negative situation, and although yes, it is risky, it gave me time to focus and really work on myself, and to make sure that I'm able to, sell myself, to trying to get an actual, good job that I will actually enjoy. And it actually happened, with taking risks, it's scary, yes, but I'm here to tell you that sometimes you might need to take them. You might not know what's gonna happen, when you take that leap of faith, but it's actually leading me to my last tip, and that's know that you're going to be okay. At the end of it all, if you know you're a good person, if you know that you work hard every day, you are a dedicated person to whatever vision that you have for yourself in the future, you are going to be okay. Because I know this for a fact, that the people who are the most successful in life are the people who are hardworking and they're determined to be successful. And that's the type of people that I would love for love to see. If you have a goal, you have a dream and a vision, you are going to be okay. And whatever risk that you're willing to take is going to work out for you. At least that's my prayer for you over your life. And it's going to be hard. It's not something to really take, to underestimate. Don't think that it's going to be easy. What I'm doing right now for HB Fashion is not easy at all. And whatever it is, guys, whatever it is you strive to be, if you found yourself in a low time, don't give up. That's the exact time that you need to push yourself the most. When you feel like you need to give up, you need to do something else, you need to drop your dream, drop your vision, persevere, guys. I promise you, at the end of it all, it's going to be okay. Grit your teeth, grab yourself by the cojones and actually get it done. Whatever it is, guys. And just know, at the end of it all, you're going to be okay. And that's it today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up. If you know someone who is struggling with how to be happy, and you know at least one of these tips will help them out, share this video with them, and hopefully they'll find some fulfillment in it, and they'll find some inspiration to pick their heads up and continue and persevere in the best way that I know that they can. And I want you to do the same as well. But like I said, if you like this video and you learned something from it, drop a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help me build the HB community. It's a community that I am already falling in love with. You guys are amazing. The support you guys give me is absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to further grow with you. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. See you next time.